11th year of the Honor Hero Program, and it's here for your benefit and helping you to be educated from the branch in respect to what our veterans did through the war years, World War I and II in Korea, and at present Afghanistan. The collection starts with 32nd Bruce Battalion behind some of these. They marched on foot all the way up to North Bay, and by that time Muriel was already captured out west. They turned around and came back home, but they had a lot of hardships that winter because they weren't at home taking the harvest. It was left with young wives with young families. They had to move in together and pool their few resources in order to survive the winters. You have to keep in mind this is 1885, and that's horsepower. They didn't have all the fancy roads we have today and cars. It takes a long time to plow a field by hand. Takes into the World War I, which is 160th Bruce Battalion, 3 units across the stage, and there's more World War I at the back that you can see afterwards. Then we go into the 97th Field Battery, which is the daycare building. I'm sure some of you have had the pleasure of being in at one point in time in your life. Which starts the Second World War. A lot of the veterans from our town did basic training. Then at the Poppy, flag on this side, takes in those that were killed in World War II. Then there's Navy and Air Force at the back. We have Afghanistan section, Korea, and on this side you'll see a lot of pamphlets and binders that have personal stories of those of our veterans that have compiled, that I have compiled their stories in order to help educate you as well. When you're going through, you will see a label that represents new. It's a new artifact for this year. This happens to be a canteen from World War I that I picked up in Underwood, I believe, this summer. And there's a lot of other new artifacts as well. We received a letter yesterday, dated in 1916. It was a letter home to his mother, and it was only signed, "Your loving son, Elliot." So we were trying to decipher as to what his last name was. The individual brought it in. His daughter owned the house recently, and they were in to re-insulate the attic, and they found this letter and gave it to her. So her dad went to the registry office and did some searching in regards to the property deed, and we think it was actually Major Dixon, Elliot Dixon, who was part of the 97th Battery. So we want to do a little more research to see if it is actually his letter. I got to talk to my neighbor because he would know where this individual would live, or his wife maybe, because they're a long-time resident. The one question or thing I do comment on, and that is I ask that we don't touch artifacts unless you ask. Don't lean on the cases or write on top of the cases. That's why you have your clipboards. There's lots of pamphlets you can take and look at as well. We've got World War I you can look at. Open up, gives you details of maybe how they were killed, where they were killed. It has a lot of information if you're planning a trip over Europe at some point in time. Newspaper articles as well. If you have any questions, I'm here. Comrade John is here as well to help out. And don't hesitate to come and ask if you're looking for something specifically questioned. I will not necessarily answer your question. I want you to learn. I'll direct you to where the artifact may be and try to help you that way. I'm trying to challenge you as much as possible in that respect. There's also advertising magazine articles that are pinned up, laminated, in order for you to get some ideas for if you were to enter the Legion poster contest later on. Those are suggestions that you can pull ideas from. And hopefully you'll also consider public speaking. I hated public speaking, and yet I'm here doing it. So it's something that you get used to over the time. So I encourage you, if you're a little shy in doing public speaking, keep plugging away at it. Because you do get better as you do it more often. Any questions before we start? Yes.
Did you used to go to the World Cup?
I'm too young. I was never in the service. I just have a huge interest in history. My father served in the Lincoln and Wallen Regiment until he was wounded. He recuperated and stayed in England, fought fires for 8 months before our ship was ready to bring him home. And my father-in-law served in Sicily and Italy until he was wounded. And then my 4 uncles served as well in the Second World War. And my one uncle went on and served in Korea for 3 years and stayed in the service for 30 to 35 years as well. Yes?
Have you ever met anybody that has been in the war?
We have veterans all the time that we meet. We may have a veteran here before you leave. Mr. Albert Ketchum is the only veteran I have left that will come out and help with youth school kids. It's all to do with their age and health. Average age at the present moment, the youngest is about 83. The oldest is 94. So it's a health issue that they're just not capable of coming in. Yes.
Do you have big books that remind us and like some reading?
Yes, thanks for reminding me. I do appreciate that. If you would sign at some point in time while you're here, gives me numbers overall, but you might be Prime Minister someday and I'll have your autograph. Pretty cool. Any other questions? Okay, you read the tour and like I say.
Thank you very much.